Right now, you think you are seeing the world. You think your eyes are open, light is coming in, and your brain is simply receiving that information and showing it to you like a screen. You think perception is passive. You think reality arrives and you just watch it. You are wrong. Your brain is not watching the world. Your brain is guessing it. Every single second of your life, your brain is running a simulation, a prediction of what it thinks the world is about to look like, sound like, and feel like. And it is comparing that simulation against the actual signals coming in from your senses. If the signals match the prediction, your brain barely even pays attention. If they don't match, it sends an error signal and updates the model. You are not experiencing the world. You are experiencing your brain's best guess about the world. This is not a metaphor. This is the leading framework in modern neuroscience, and once you understand it, you will never think about your own mind the same way again. When you walk into a dark room, you don't wait to be afraid. You are already afraid before anything happens. Your brain predicted danger before your eyes confirmed it. When someone raises their hand during an argument, your body tenses before a word is spoken. Your brain already ran the simulation. It already decided what comes next. Your reaction was not a response to what happened. It was a response to what your brain thought was about to happen. This is called predictive processing, and it is one of the most important ideas in cognitive science right now. Karl Friston, a neuroscientist at University College London and one of the most cited scientists alive, spent decades building a mathematical framework to explain how the brain manages this. He calls it the free energy principle. The short version is this: your brain is constantly trying to minimize surprise. It does this not by waiting to be surprised and then reacting, but by building a model of the world and updating that model constantly so that incoming information becomes predictable. The goal of your brain is not accuracy. The goal of your brain is certainty. Think about what happens when you read. Your eyes do not scan each letter individually and then construct words and then build sentences. By the time your eyes have landed on the beginning of a word, your brain has already predicted what the word is going to be based on everything that came before it. Research by cognitive scientist Keith Rayner showed that skilled readers only fixate on about 60 to 80% of the words they encounter. Your brain fills in the rest. You are reading a partial document and dreaming the remainder. This is why you can read this sentence even though the letters are all wrong. Your brain is not reading the letters. It is matching a pattern against a prediction and confirming what it already expected to find. Your brain does this with sound too. When someone speaks to you in a noisy room, you hear them far more clearly than the raw audio signal would suggest. Your brain is filling in the gaps, suppressing the noise, and delivering a cleaned-up version of what it predicted they were going to say. This is so powerful that researchers have demonstrated you can make people hear words that were never spoken at all, simply by priming the prediction engine. When neuroscientist David Poeppel at New York University studied how the brain processes speech, his team found that the auditory cortex is not just receiving sound, it is generating predictions about the timing and content of sounds before they arrive, then comparing them against what actually comes in. You do not hear what is said. You hear what your brain predicted would be said, corrected slightly by the actual signal. This extends to pain. Your experience of physical pain is not a direct readout of tissue damage. It is a prediction. If your brain predicts danger, pain increases, even without new injury. If your brain predicts safety, pain can decrease, even without intervention. This is why placebo surgeries work. This is why soldiers report not feeling bullet wounds until after the battle is over. Your brain suppressed the pain signal because it had a higher priority prediction to run. Survive first, feel later. And this is where it gets strange. If your brain is always predicting, and if perception is mostly prediction with a little reality mixed in, then what you call your personality, your preferences, your emotional reactions, your sense of who you are, how much of that is real and how much of it is just a very old, very stubborn prediction? Lisa Feldman Barrett, a psychologist and neuroscientist at Northeastern University, has spent her career dismantling the idea that emotions are universal, hardwired reactions. Her research suggests something far stranger. Emotions are constructed predictions. When your heart rate rises, your brain searches its past experiences to find a concept that explains the sensation. If you have ever been in danger before and felt that same rising heart rate, your brain predicts, this must be fear. If you have been excited before and felt that same signal, your brain predicts, this must be excitement. The physiological sensation is the same. The emotion your brain constructs from it is different. And once your brain has labeled it, once it has committed to the prediction, that is the emotion you feel, regardless of what actually triggered it. You have had this experience. You have felt dread before a meeting and not been sure whether it was anxiety or anticipation. That ambiguity is not confusion. That ambiguity is the moment before your brain commits to a prediction. Once it does, the feeling locks in. This means your emotional life is a kind of ongoing fiction. Not a lie, but a story your brain tells itself to explain what it is detecting. And like all stories, it is shaped by the past. Your brain predicts based on what has happened before. If danger came from a certain direction before, your brain will predict danger from that direction again. If a certain kind of person caused you pain before, your brain will predict pain from people who resemble them before a single word is exchanged. This is the mechanism underneath bias, trauma, anxiety, and assumption. Your brain is not broken when it does this. It is efficient. It is running the fastest possible system for navigating a world full of incomplete information. But that efficiency has a cost. It means you are always experiencing a version of reality filtered through expectation. Now consider how that changes the way you see the present moment. When you sit with someone and feel that they are upset before they say a word, that is prediction. When you enter a meeting and already know how it is going to go, that is prediction. When you read the first sentence of a message and feel your stomach drop, that is prediction. You are not responding to what is happening. You are responding to what your brain has decided is happening based on pattern matching against everything that happened before. The philosopher Andy Clark, who has written extensively on predictive minds, calls humans prediction machines. In his framework, the brain is not a passive processor of the world. It is an active generator of the world. It is constantly projecting outward, then checking its projection against reality, then updating or ignoring the result depending on how confident it is in the model. Here is the part that should stop you cold. When your brain is very confident in its model, it ignores contradictory information. The more certain you are about how something works, the less your brain actually processes the parts of reality that disagree with you. High confidence means low signal weighting, which means the more convinced you are about a person, about a situation, about yourself, the less reality you are actually taking in. Certainty is not clarity. Certainty is your brain deciding it already knows and turning down the volume on anything that says otherwise. Now reverse the frame. Think about the last time something genuinely surprised you. Not a small surprise, a real one. Something that made you stop and think, I did not see that coming. That moment, that jarring, slightly disorienting moment, is the closest you ever get to seeing the world as it actually is, rather than as your brain predicted it would be. Surprise is the gap between the simulation and reality. It is the error signal. And for a brief window, in that moment of surprise, your prediction engine is offline and raw perception floods in. Right now, as you read this, your brain has already predicted several times what the next sentence would say. It was wrong and it updated. Or it was right and it barely noticed. Either way, you were never just reading. You were predicting. You were always predicting. The world you experience is not the world. It is the world your brain expected to find, shaped by everything you have ever seen, felt, feared, and wanted. And the last time something completely surprised you, that was not an interruption in your perception. That was the closest you ever came to actually seeing